We are back. Oh my gosh, this felt like forever. I don't know why, but how are you guys doing?
Woo! So good. So not tired. How about you guys?
Not tired at all.
I'm not tired at all. I'm
What
not
in the
tired at all.
world, dude? Why are we all tired right now?
Older age? Older.
Yeah.
I got kids I could blame it on all day. I'm like, my kids is draining me. My kids. My
There you go.
business. But
There you go. That's a good
yeah,
one.
that's my two excuses. What's your guys' excuses?
I got the vaccine, so
Oh,
I
so
get
that
tired.
maybe took some energy out of you because I heard
I
people get
slept.
all
I'm
sore.
good now. I had a whole day of sleeping.
Oh,
I
you
don't
did.
know what Renee's excuse is.
What's yours, Renee?
I just didn't. I haven't been sleeping too well, but I don't know. I guess that's it. I'm just trying to catch up on
I
sleep.
like the smile. I haven't
Ah, I
slept
know something's up right there.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I haven't been sleeping well. It's one of
little
those weeks.
fiestas.
It's one of those weeks. No.
well.
That's one of those weeks for sure. No,
Oh,
I don't partake during the week. If it's anything, it's like the weekend.
oh, okay. On the weekend.
No, I've never been that type to like go out during the week or like chill out and go do shit like that.
I would do it when I was younger, like on Thursdays, Tuesdays. I would hit those days up, Thursdays and Tuesdays. I don't know
what,
why.
what would you do? You
So
just
like we'd go to PB and get like shit face, like big time. So like Taco Tuesday, they'd have beers and one Corona after another Corona after another Corona. Just when you turn 21, you're like, fuck yeah, man. It's crazy, dude. So
that's so
it was
weird.
bad. It was bad.
I never did that. I rarely did. I should say I rarely did that.
Ah, dude, I was a stupid, crazy one. The missus calmed me down a lot. Like she really calmed my ass down, dude. I was stupid, and I was starting young in TJ, dude.
That's a
Yeah.
given here in San Diego for sure.
Oh, for sure. If you're next year, you're going to TJ.
Plaza.
You're going to what'd you say?
The plaza.
The Plaza, Plaza,
Like Porky's.
Plaza, 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 Plaza.
I used to go to OG Porky's.
Oh, dude, that was a good. Okay.
Weird.
Everyone knew Baby Rock. Do you want to go to
Oh.
Baby Rock? The fucking social.
Which one's
Baby
that?
Rock. You would go Baby Rock. I was like,
I don't remember that.
there was a ghetto one called Mysteries, dude. That one was hood, dude. That one was crazy.
Mysteries?
It was dirty.
There's a lot of reggaeton people there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
I
times, man.
thought it was like Spanish rock and like Porky's is like Morrissey and shit like that.
It was cool. That
Yeah.
one was tight. They took me there a couple times. It was chill. That one
Different
was chill.
times.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we went on, I had a couple thoughts since we had a little bit of a break. I want to know about your thoughts about photography as a hobby when you were doing it as a hobby versus photography as a business. Like, what are the key differences that you've experienced since you started and used photography as a hobby versus now? You do obviously doing it as a business.
So I got a funny one with photography as a hobby.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys felt this shit, but I felt like a fucking wizard, dude. Like when I got my camera as a hobbyist. So photography as a hobby, as you guys all know, when you start off, you're not like, you don't know famous photographers. You don't do seminars. You don't learn the craft as well as you are as a professional. So when I got my DSLR, and I had the kit lens, I seriously thought I was a wizard. Like I was taking depth of field pictures. I was like, oh, this is a sick. Like I was just thinking, like, oh, I would tell my friends, hold your skateboard up, and I would just have them hold it right there, and they'll like do a funny face, and you see the depth of field with the skateboard. So when it was a hobby, it was so ignorant. Like I was so ignorant, and I thought my shit was good, and I had no idea there was levels to it, and I had no idea like as a business, like that shit was amateur. It was cheap. The kit lens sucked ass. Like it was cool because it was innocent. Like I felt like a baby as a hobby where I was like, man, this is awesome. So I was playing, not getting shit on by like other people saying, oh well, it's a little underexposed or you over photoshopped it. Like it was fun, man. What about for you guys? Like that as a hobby at first. What really made you smile as a hobby? Curious.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, one of you guys. Let's see. Go for it.
It was a lot more fun. Like you could explore and yeah, you thought your stuff was really, really good.
It sucked.
I don't know if you ever looked back at some of your old stuff, but you're like, damn, that shit fucking sucked. What was I thinking? Like it was just like
People liked it.
yeah.
I got 5 likes.
Well, here's what I remember. Like, people would really be behind you, especially in the beginning. Like, everybody you know would be like, "Oh, that's fucking dope."
Yeah, that's
And
so
you're like, "Oh,
true.
so good."
True.
And then I'm like, if you look back, I'm like, that shit wasn't good at all. That shit sucked.
That's so
Either
true.
people are like just don't know, or they're being really nice to me, but it wasn't very.
Damn. What do you think that is, Val? Like, do you think they're being
Um,
nice? Do you think they're behind you?
I
Like,
think
that's a good
we
point.
we also started before the uptrend of photography began too. So
That's
like,
a good point.
basically as Instagram grew, as the Kim Kardashians, everybody being very like skin conscious and like face, like, is your face even blah.
Yeah,
We didn't think about that back then.
it's
So,
true.
when you got your first DSLR, you're like, I am a wizard. And
Yo,
everybody else is
Wizard
like, you
Harry.
are a wizard, because nobody wants to pay like $1,300 for like, a bundle. No
Yeah.
one had the accessibility. Nobody had like, a phone that had that camera that can do
Yeah.
portrait mode.
Yeah,
Even though portrait
mode.
mode is like hit and miss, you see like, you're like, why is it blurry? Like
The edges.
it's like not right. But we didn't have that back then. So
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh my God, Rene, that is actually amazing. How much would you charge for family photos? And you're like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, so $50. I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's a little steep,
50 bucks.
Oh,
I think we can make that work. That won't end our friendship, I don't think.
oh my God. Did you guys ever have like people who like, I don't want to say you ended your friendship, but like it
100%.
definitely affected you. Like it affected what I was like, what the fuck? Super weird. So what was your experience?
Yeah, Val, I don't have one. Like, I can't opt in this one. I want to hear
Oh, you
this.
don't?
This is awesome.
Okay.
No, yeah.
I think maybe I've been shooting more than both of you, like longer. I've been shooting since 2005.
2005.
But like as a professionally.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
shit,
Then
dude!
yeah,
I just started like 7 years ago, like
Okay.
7-8 years.
Okay, yeah. Then hoo-ha. So probably 2004 is when I started doing like pay me, tip me type of thing, right?
Okay.
So I'm shooting your wedding for free. I'm shooting your engagement photos, your headshots, whatever it is, just tip me. And
Were you classified as photography as a hobby still here?
Yeah.
Like, were you? Yeah. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Or is this when you're starting to transfer like to
photography.
business? You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
so
what was this?
that was like right before. So when I was like 17, it was photography as a hobby.
Okay, still.
Photography
Okay.
as a hobby.
Got it.
Transcribe. Yeah, so it was all like tip based.
Tip based. Okay.
Tip based,
Just
right?
the tip. Just the tip.
Just the tip, because I what I was doing, as most 17-year-olds are. And I fucked up. But it's like, why would you put somebody in charge of like shooting your wedding when you're much older? Like my mom's like coworkers, daughters hiring me for tip.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be really artistic and take like this weird photo of something I think is cool with like not even a DSLR, like a point and shoot, like a Fuji that looks like a DSLR, but it's like you can't actually, it's like stuck,
Dang.
And yeah, I got $50 for that wedding.
50.
Got it all in JPEG. I didn't know any better. I had a good time. And then I look at the photos, because I think it was like my first legit wedding. I had a great time shooting it, and it looks so awful. It looks like somebody shot it on like a Galaxy S5. It's that long ago.
That's crazy.
So bad.
Man.
It was not fun. And like, obviously, shooting a couple of friends where I feel proud of the photos, and it's just for free. And they're like, can you not post it? I'm like,
oh,
this is a trade.
Damn.
I need this to like get more people.
Damn.
So yeah. And then the friendship starts to go boop, 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 boop. You're like, where'd that person go? Yeah, I haven't talked to them for a year. Oh yeah. They're obviously not in that relationship anymore. And they hated the photos to begin with. And I'm like, post it, I want money.
That's crazy. So that's where you said that that relationship went sour because of those things?
Yeah, it's always because either they expect more for like nothing, or they don't like something and they want to be in control of it. But I think even when you're a hobbyist, you should have a contract.
That's a good point. Dude, that's pro tip right there. So if you're doing that as a hobby, so if you're taking pictures doing a hobby, do that for sure. Like write it in words and say, hey, I can use any of the photos that I shoot of you. Like at least that. At least that. Jesus. What do you got, Rene? I know you want to say something, dude,
I
about
do
this
it,
story.
but I feel like if you get a contract, you're starting to become a little bit professional. I mean, we're talking about like you're hobbyist. You're like, yeah, I'll trade you. Give me like $50, $80, and I'll go down there and waste my gas. And
I'll go down there and waste my gas.
but you know what I mean? Like as soon as you start, for me, it was like if I started thinking about contracts, then I'm definitely going towards the professional side. But I'll go back to my story. So I'll go with the wedding one. I did a wedding for family. They asked me to do it. I was starting to get a little bit better, so I felt confident in doing it.
Oh.
They gave me $400, which was like, that's not bad. That's like whatever. And but I had to like, I'll print these for you type of thing.
Oh.
And I remember doing it and just sweating bullets the whole time. Like I was so nervous.
Just not like, enjoying the process.
Oh man, that shit sucked. It was the worst feeling because you assume that since you know how to work a camera, or at least you think you know how to work a camera, that you'll work everything else perfect. And it was hard, dude. Like posing is a skill in itself.
Yeah.
Handling a crowd is a skill in itself.
Yep.
And everything that's involved in it. And then we edited the photos. I had a shitload of photos, like too many. And I printed all of them. I literally made like $0, dude. I got money to print.
Oh, your $400 went to print.
And they're probably shitty prints where like the place like retouched everything.
It wasn't
I hate that.
Auto color.
No. I did the editing. So
how print stores like automatically like enhance the colors.
Right.
I hate when they do that. Did they do that 2 years or no?
I don't remember.
Oh, dude, if they did that,
I gave them too much shit for $400. I gave them like a book and like all the photos, and like I made $0 off of it. And the fucked up part is, I think they thought it was too much money, and then,
so they were still unhappy.
Yeah, they weren't happy with it, and I'm like, I literally wasted all my money to do your shit. I didn't make any money. I did this. This is all the money you gave me. I basically gave it back to you. I was like a gift. You know what I mean? Like thinking back, like I gave this all right back to you. I didn't make anything. I got nervous.
Experience. You got experience, and you got to shit your pants and sweat bullets, dude. That's awesome.
That's one thing I will say. That's why I always say, like, if you want to try it, go with someone else and have them teach you. Because if you're there by yourself, you're gonna sweat bullets. It's gonna be nerve-wracking. It's an experience for sure. But if you think you can do it, go for it. But that's when it was. I was between photography as a hobby and then like discovering it as a business. They threw me. That was right into business side. Like I'll never happen again.
Okay, I got a fun one for you guys. A really fun one. So photography as a business photography as a hobby versus a business. If you had a shit ton of money, like say you're an engineer or a professional poker player, or dad just gives you a shit ton of money every month, say money wasn't an object, would you just stick to photography as a hobby forever? Like if money wasn't a thing? Or like why did you even shift into photography as a profession? Was it for money? Like if you had the money, would you just do it as a hobby for life type thing? Because I'll tell you this, I'll start it off. If I had that pile of cash that was like say 80,000 a month that just came in, I would straight up stay photography as a hobby for life. Like I would love that freedom of going to nature, just shooting whatever the hell, and having that ignorance, because I know that sweating of the bullets thing that you're talking about, that comes through growth, through pain, through knowledge, through profession, through trials and tribulations. And it's cool because you learn and you grow. But man, if I was to pick, if they gave me that stash, I wouldn't even dare start a business. How about you guys? Curious.
I think it depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm really enjoying the main thing that I'm doing, and then I could do photography as a hobby just for fun, that would be really cool. But at like my juncture where I was at, I was like, no, I'd rather turn this into a business because I wasn't enjoying what I was doing as a like just a regular job. You know what I mean? Like took the jump from what I was doing. to do this. So that's why I made the switch. But if I was making either someone gave me a lot of money or I was making a lot of money,
yeah,
and I semi enjoyed it. I'm not even saying fully enjoy it. I said semi enjoyed it. I'd probably do it as a hobby.
same. What about you, Val? Is it 3 for 3 or are we 2 for 3? What do you got?
This shit could be bad headaches.
I feel like I'm in a middle ground.
Okay, so 2.5. What you got?
If I was getting like 80,000 a month,
yeah,
I would hire like agents to like hit up like all these different travel websites, right? And then do what I love, shoot what I love, but have them sponsor me. So I'm just like banking on it over and over again. And then like potentially growing an empire because I'm already making tons of money.
Okay.
And then why not like have this again umbrella company where then I can hire other photographers to like hang out with too, because
dude,
it's also really fun to like talk with other people that have the same interests as you. And then now you have this agent that does all the work. So you're not breaking your own back. You can pick and choose the things that you shoot. You still get paid for it, but it's like under your brand.
I like that.
They're just like, whatever Valerie's doing, that's great. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead, but use our product. I'm like, I will, and I'll tell you what to do.
That's cool.
I won't care about the money at that point.
That's a good point.
I also think it depends on how you break down how you make that money. Because right now we're saying like, oh, you're gonna get $80,000 a month.
Okay, well, I'm a trust fund baby.
Okay, well that's different. Then I would do whatever the fuck I want if I was trust fund. I don't even fucking do photography. I'd be doing
photography. Fuck the camera. Fuck this hobby. Like.
You're like, I'm just gonna travel the world.
I'm just gonna travel the world. That's funny.
I'd hire a photographer to fucking take my pictures.
Okay,
so it'll be me.
if you were talking to your little cousin that you that you see is getting really good, would you kind of personally wing them under you to like teach them the business if you see that they're talented? Like say they are doing it as a hobby and you see that talent in like a young pupil, like a cousin or like a family member that's fucking good. They love it. They have a passion for it. Would you mentor them and turn them over to business since you guys know it? I'm curious.
For sure. If they don't know anything or they had
say they have like again like we were at that state of just like we thought the skateboard picture was dope. That's where they're at, but they're actually good. What would you do with that?
I would definitely show them everything I know, and then
that's cool.
Hook them up with other people that may know more than me or that are more into the business than I am. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
If they're really into it and you see that they're really good, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I would do the same. How about you, Val? What would you do?
I'd probably hire them
and show them like the ropes, like kind of
like first, before I trust them completely to be like second shooting and have them assist me.
Okay.
And then give them opportunity as they're assisting to like shoot whatever they want. They don't have to turn anything over, and then I review the stuff just to see if they're ready to like get paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask you the inverse now. What if you had a family member or someone you knew that fucking totally sucked? Would you push them and see if they could learn more, or would you be like, "Hey, dude, like, you should have"?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna be dark on this one. I'm gonna say, "Fuck no, dude." Bro. Like, yeah, I would say no because it already is hard. Like, don't lie, for your guys' own business, like you're already carrying a lot of weight. I can't carry another backpack. Like that's heavy as shit. So
I wouldn't help.
Yeah, I'd be like, nope.
I would say keep doing it, buddy.
Like I would encourage them.
Yeah,
good job.
From a distance, I wouldn't do this.
I wouldn't do the wing, but if it was a pupil that was hungry, like what Val said, I would do the same thing. Like where you kind of train them up, you teach them the ropes, you throw them a job when you feel like, okay, I think this person could do a wedding by themselves. Let's see, go. I got your back. Like I'll be your second shooter now. Like you take the lead role. Like that's sick. That I love, dude, because I love seeing young talent. And if you could like kind of mentor someone that goes from hobby to business, like that's kind of cool, man, because you had a say in that. Like your style is a little in there, like how they deal with people, like Val's tricks, like the Joker laugh, the or the witch laugh, the crackle, like that they'll probably use if that tip worked for them. Like they'll use that forever type shit. It's cool. It's always cool having a little young pupil, man. So if you're out there and you need some trainers, let's go. But you have to like it, mother suckers, and so give us beer.
Let me ask you something real quick. So when you guys are doing photography as a hobby, did anyone encourage you or did people shit on you? Like, no, you can't.
Oh, dude,
or
let's talk about the dark
both.
stuff. I got shit on by my parents, dude. They
Really?
straight up said like, dude, you can't do this to make money. You can't do this to make a living. Like they wanted me to finish school. They said like, nah, you can't be playing around with this photography shit. Like they said, because I was getting into it and I was like, oh man, this could be a thing. And they're like, you better not drop out of school. Like, nope, don't. And I get where they're coming from as a parent. They're just trying to protect me, but they actually fucked up. They like really fucked up. Instead of encouraging me, they gave me that like doubt, like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't do this. But it backfired in a good way where I said, fuck you. Like, I'm going to prove you wrong and show you that I can. And I did. So it's pretty sick. But I would do the opposite where you encourage them and you ask good questions. Like, I would never let a kid who's passionate about something to stop them. Like, I'd actually say, you want to quit school? Sell me why you want to quit school. Like, show me
elevator pitch.
You can book a wedding and you can get 3 of them. And shit, you don't have to go to school, but show me you want it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Sure.
What about for you? I'm curious for you guys. Like, I went that way. Did someone encourage you guys or did they shit on you for you guys?
I'm trying to think. I don't really remember right now.
What about you, Val? You got any memories? Because you started young. You started really young.
Really young.
Gonna be tricky.
So, I mean, I went to school for it anyway. So, I mean.
Did your friends encourage you? Like, your classmates and shit? Like, did you guys have each other's backs? Like, what about your parents? What did they think about it when you were doing those classes?
Like, I don't think they cared. It's just like if you can still like have your part-time job and go to school and then you're like making money on the side, like trying to get into photography, then it's like fine, as long as you can support yourself.
Okay.
You know, like at the end of the day, if you're not relying on your parents, it's a good sign at the age of 19.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. So I think they're fine with it. I feel like even, like I said, it was so long ago that like even my crappy photos were still good to everybody. So everyone's like, they look good. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe you like that crap. It's awful.
That's the joke I tell my wife all the time, though, when they're hiring us, like for weddings or portraits. You just got to be better than your customers. That's it. And customers do not know how to take pictures. Like, it's crazy. So when they get wowed, like, you know, oh shit, like it's a little hot. The background kind of sucks. Like, she's kind of squinching. It's a little out of focus. And why'd they pick that as their favorite? It's a little
as long as right here looks good and. Then it's they're crazy. Like, oh, solid. It's like, oh my God, but you kind of like moved your hand a little bit.
Yeah, stuff so like that.
You see like a little motion blur.
Yeah, the motion blur.
But their face is like perfect, and then their hand is like, they love it.
Hell yeah. What about Rene? Did you kind of like remember a memory or?
Yeah, no? I remember. So like, obviously, like teachers in school were very like here for it because I was taking some classes for it.
Yeah,
like friends and peers were like, yeah, they thought it was cool and like they were actually telling me to pursue it. And then my parents were either like neutral, you know, they weren't negative about it. And then I think like I remember my mother always telling me to bring my camera because I was, you know, that'd be more like, oh, you could take the pictures, like, oh, you could take the pictures.
You gonna take our pictures?
But like, bring
not that expensive camera, bring it.
Yeah, like you have your camera, so bring that. But that was, you know, back then when there was no. You know, cell phones weren't taking great pictures, and not everyone was buying DSLRs to like make YouTube videos and shit.
Yeah. And what about for editing?
Huh?
Did you guys do the editing when you were like a hobbyist? Like, did you guys just deliver JPEGs, or did you guys get down with Photoshop? Like, what was your program of choice when you first started?
Still
Lightroom. What'd you say?
Still Photoshop.
Okay, you don't use Lightroom?
I mean, like. Now I use only Lightroom, but when
got it.
Yeah, Lightroom did not exist.
I think I just used
RAW. What'd you use?
RAW. Like real fast. Then Photoshop, then Lightroom.
Yeah, I think I used Photoshop, and I would edit one image at a time, and that was painfully long, man.
Until you figured out how to do actions.
Actions and bactions is like, damn, dude. Lightroom, when I understood it, I was mad. I was legit mad on how much time I wasted in my life.
Yeah, you waste a week on editing.
I could just hold shift, click to the end, and sync the damn preset, and it's done. Like, that's it. So any of you hobbyists out there, get the damn Lightroom subscription and say you're a student. Pro tip. $19.99. Best 20
Yeah.
bucks you'll spend in a month. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So let me ask you this stuff real quick, guys. So, what would you say the best things about being a hobbyist were? And then I'll ask what the worst were.
Okay, so best and worst. So let's start off with the best. Val, do you want to kick us off, or do you want me to take it?
The best thing is absolute freedom.
Yeah.
Do whatever. You can only be mad at yourself, but then at the end of the day, I think you're still happy because you got to do whatever you wanted to do. You didn't have to reach anything. But I think now, even when I go somewhere and I'm just shooting for fun, I'm still like shooting like I'm working. So I think that's where it kind of sucks. As soon as you make like your first dollar, and then you try to go back to just like, oh, I'm exploring. I'm alone. This is not for anything. I'm not making money on this. I'm still like, I gotta get the best shot. Maybe I can still write this off. I'm gonna justify
your brain's
everything.
like on business mode still.
Always. It has not turned off in 10 years.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
There? Man, I'm a piggyback on that one and go deeper. Like you kind of mentioned it, but you said happiness in that paragraph. And to me, like freedom's cool, but to me, it truly was happiness. Like I was legit. Like, remember when we say I felt like a wizard? Like that's my imagination at play. Like I felt like I was creating random cool shots. Like I shot cactuses, and I was like, oh my god, you could see everything. Like what? Like it was cool. Like that happiness. I don't think I've ever gotten to that bliss because I'm like you, where I'm like, oh, let's write this off. Let's this I could make this better. Like you're not satisfied because you're trying to be better. You're trying to. It's that curse of you want to whoop ass. You want to be competitive. You want to make a good business. You want to take good pictures now. Versus back then, that ignorance is bliss. Like that's that saying for me. Ignorance is bliss. Like not knowing, I was like, oh, look at the sky. There's a T-Rex. I'm happy. Like, wow, I miss that, dude. Like, that's what I will say is the best thing. So, freedom, but I'll take it deeper and say happiness. What do you got to add to that, Rene?
I'm going to piggyback on both those things because I remember first starting off, I really liked street photography. Like, I fucking love that shit. So, I would go out, and my main thing was even bigger than making money was just capturing time. Like,
capturing time.
Like, nice. My biggest influence at the time were, like, photos from, like, the 40s and 50s. Like, they just captured time, and they stood still till 2000s, wherever I started taking photos. So to me, the best things was like it would make me really content and happy is capturing certain moments that weren't planned. I didn't pose them; they just happened in the real world. So that to me, that was like the shit. I was like, this is the best thing ever. I wasn't worried about money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it becomes totally different once you start worrying about money or like a contract or like, is this the best shit ever? It was just like, I'm just doing it. I'm just shooting to capture time. That's it.
Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, if you think about it, freaking people in the past, like when they dressed like Great Gatsby days, like they had a certain look. Like our 2000s, it's going to be kind of hilarious. The 2020s, like people doing selfies by like Grand Canyon, like before they die. Like that's like history, yo. Like people try to get the best shot. How cool would it be to document that lifestyle? Because what if it's now like arm shit where you tap your arm and a fucking hologram pops up? Like, what if it's not cell phones no more?
Yeah,
like if you captured this moment, how people are so, I hate saying it, it is narcissistic. Like this society where we want things fast, we want things now, we can't wait, and we're all about ourselves because we want our Instagram to look badass. So that capturing this moment in time, that if you could capture that, man, that's insane to me. Like if we could show that somehow, like just showing like 10 people in one shot doing a selfie, like, and it happened naturally, that would be crazy. Like that could be an iconic thing that represents this history and time. Because man, I love seeing old street photography where like they used to shoot like boxes like this at their hip and just shoot like portraits like that. So it was different than 50 mil, 35. Like it's so cool seeing all that stuff. So I'm kind of curious in 20, no, not 20, say 50 more years, how we're going to look back at this period. That's going to be interesting.
Even in 20, like,
even, 20 will more
changing rapidly.
Yeah,
for sure.
Moving really, really fast. So it's just,
it is.
Even looking back at 2015, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. 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 That's crazy.
Our fashion sense is awful.
Right?
We didn't have lip injections really yet.
Dude.
That is a whole nother thing. I can't. You touched on it. They got the line faces and like they inject. It's crazy, dude. Inject your butt and like all this stuff. It trips me out. It trips me out because people have shifted
the fox eyes.
The fox eyes?
Yeah.
What are the fox eyes like? They just lift them?
Yeah, all the celebrities are getting this thing where like they have a thread that like pulls up a little bit like that.
Also, it looks like your eyebrows up, like
yeah.
fox
See,
eyes.
Yeah.
I'm so young now.
I'm gonna do the opposite and do grandpa eyes. Just
that's for free.
That's for free, dog.
Help the time.
Hey, so's that hobby when you're doing the photography thing. Once you get your camera, like you're not buying other gear. That shit's kind of free. Once you pay for it, you just have fun. You just have fun.
True. That's true.
When you're a business owner, you just buy everything. I got a drone. Shit, dude. I got like lenses that I barely use like 3 times. It's sad. It's so sad.
I agree. We only had to worry about one camera, just using that one camera.
Yep, and use
but
that.
if it broke, oh my god.
Heartbreak.
But I think as a hobbyist, you baby the shit out of your one and only camera.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right now, I'm sure we all have multiple bodies and lenses. I mean, I don't take care of it as like when I first started. I'm just like, oh, this is just a tool. Before,
laying down on the floor,
I was babying it, dude. And let's see if you guys will admit to it. But like, let's say you bought your first camera, you probably kept it on that strap that I came with. And like put it on here and like
like a badge of honor.
Yeah, like told
you know what
I mean?
This could be a gold chain, but it's a camera.
Exactly.
Flavor.
And you guys are probably you're all Canon shooters starting off, right? So you'd have those like bright red straps
with that freaking leather neck that hurts. Like,
That's what I'm saying though. That's how if you're wearing one of those right now, you're a hobbyist.
Yeah. Yeah, but they got more freaking fashion designs, man. They sell straps with like freaking plaid and like camo and all this shit.
I have one that has a quick release. I'll show you.
Oh, dude, there's so many new camera straps that are dope. I'm using one from Peak Design. That's a side strap. It's so good, dude. It just has 2 quick releases where you just pop them out and you're freestyling. It's pretty dope. That one's pretty sick. It's called the Slide Light, I think, or the Slide something. It's this one. Watch. I think I have it right here.
Let's see if you can bust
this guy. So this one, all you do is you just attach it to those 2 tabs. So you could wear it like this, but you could also do it under the sling like this. So you could just like that. And then you just, when you need to go high, you pop that bitch off and whoop, just put it back on and it's good to go, dude. So I use this one a lot. And this one's actually comfortable, dude. And it has these little grippy things. I don't know if you can see them. Watch.
Hard to see.
Back. There you go.
So there you go. Grippy things where if you flip it, and you put it on your shoulder, like your camera won't move on your back. It's pretty sick. Nice. So I like that design. I was like, that's pretty clever, dude. Versus when you flip it, now it's like, yeah, you can shimmy with that shit. It's crazy.
Mine
Which one do you use?
A freebie.
And that's a quick release? See, what?
So Canon Professional Services, when you buy their... What is it? So
it is like the Peak Design. That's cool.
So you can like interlock it, change it. What I like to do is if I'm shooting and I'm shooting with 2 cameras, I'll put this somewhere else on like my body.
Yeah.
And if I only need to use 1 camera body, I'll hook it back. But otherwise, I'll just like link this together.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Like you pay $300 a year, get 30% off. Canon Professional Services.
Do they have Sony Professional Services yet? Let's go.
No, I think they might actually. Something like that is coming up.
I want to get sponsored, dude. Somehow, like, just get free shit from them.
Be alpha.
Be alpha. That voice. Be alpha.
They're like, yeah, we're not gonna sponsor you, instead we're gonna sue you.
Oh, dude, probably, man. With the shit I'll do, I would be like the worst sponsor candidate ever.
Do not represent us.
Yeah, they're like, dude, not this. So I'm gonna do it worse. I'm gonna make videos about them buying their shit. I'm like, I bought this, and we're gonna talk some shit, Sony.
You bought it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I bought it. It's just mine. It's my opinion. I plead the 5th. It's like the wrong amendment. So before we hop off, did you say you wanted to talk about the worst? I think we said the best.
Yeah.
But you said, what was that question? Just so we get it right.
Well, I had said photography the best as a hobby.
Okay.
And the worst as a hobby, but I also want to do it the opposite and do the best of photography as a business and the worst part of photography as a business.
Ah, I see. Okay, so if I got this right, is it photography as a hobby? We're now talking about the worst, right?
Correct.
And then we'll do the business, the best part, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's kick it off with the worst of photography as a hobby. Does anyone got one right now?
You feel low.
What do you mean?
Feel low?
When you see other people that have like better shit than you, you're just like,
oh,
you like, oh, don't judge me, because I know even to this day, if I see somebody with a camera, I immediately I'm like, what do they got?
It's like camera envy.
Immediately.
Camera envy.
Yeah, the camera envy is like so hard where you're just like, I don't want them to know. I don't want them to know their gear is so expensive. Don't judge me.
Dang, that's a good one. That's actually a really good one. So for me, it's kind of like what Rene said a little earlier, how like people expect you to bring that camera because you're like so happy. So they'll kind of take advantage and say, hey, could you just bring your camera and take a couple pictures? And it's starting to kind of trend towards not happy no more. Like, I didn't want to take pictures of all you guys. Like, I didn't want to shoot your baby shower. Like, I just wanted to have fun, maybe take a picture of the cake and that's it. Mm-hmm. But then you get that guilt, like, oh, come on, it's practice. And you look happy doing it. That for me was the dark side of the hobby thing, is that people could easily like see you having fun with it and kind of like use that to an advantage where they get like free coverage basically. So for me, that kind of pissed me off because I would take my camera around to like family events just to practice. And they kind of expected it. They'd be like, hey, where's your camera? Why aren't you taking pictures? I was like, because no one's fucking pay me, dog. Shit. So for me, that's mine. But I like the camera envy thing a lot. That's a good one, dude. That I could see for sure that was a thing too. So
I'll add on to that. And when you're saying that people will take advantage of you, you know, maybe you're in your hobby stage and you're trying to move forward and you're trying to find some gigs, you know, and maybe they don't pay a lot. But the worst is when you're a hobbyist and they're like, we'll give you credit or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, exposure.
I fucking hate that, dude.
Yeah, a lot of people will see this, and you're like thinking. I mean,
I hate that pitch.
If this many people see it, then why don't you have the money? Why don't you have any money to pay? You know what I mean? It's like saying it's like being like this big super badass company, but you don't have money to pay people.
Dude, that's a good one. I think that wins all of them right there. Like that one, I hate that exposure thing. Yeah. And I love shitting on people on Craigslist that do that, where they're like, oh, this isn't paid, but we'll give you exposure and credit. Like, damn, I hate seeing that on Craigslist. And
it's like, what are you shooting?
Yeah.
Are you shooting cupcakes? Then give me like a dozen cupcakes too.
Dude, for us, I'll take all day. Like, I'll exchange food. Like, I love shooting restaurant food because they give you everything you shoot. So you go out there at least like a pig, like just full. That's better than exposure. Exposure, you could shove that shit up your ass.
You're still hungry at the end of exposure.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. It's like exposure is like a back, you know, slap in the face. They're like,
it's a slap in the face.
Like, oh, we have all this merchandise, or we have all this real estate, or we have all this shit to shoot, but we can't give you anything. But we have all this. It's like saying, I have a Ferrari to shoot, and I'm this big fucking multimillionaire. I can't give you anything though. Like, really, dude? Like, that's how I feel about it.
You nailed it. And it's kind of like what both of you guys said. They're kind of not meeting you halfway. Because if you're clever, which most people are when they want something, you can figure out common ground to like at least trade something or some cash. You know what I mean? Like, you can figure something out versus that cheap ass, lame ass excuse of exposure. Like, real estate agents use that shit a lot. Like, oh man, I hate that one, dude, where they're like, oh yeah, if you like shoot my headshot, other agents will see it, you'll get exposure and a lot of business. I was like, no. Like, not really. I want you to pay me, please. Just give me something, like at least $50.
Or you find me the house and you don't take any like closing cost fees, basically. No agent fees.
Straight up, man. You'll get exposure.
That 5%.
You'll get exposure.
Well, I've always hated that. Like, if you flipped it on them, like, they'd be like, no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, then why should we?
Exactly.
I don't mind doing something for free or like trading off if I'm really enjoying it, but there has to be something out of it, even if it's just enjoyment at the littlest form. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something you really want to work on for, like, regardless if it's a passion project, you need to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Just be like, here's exposure. Like, no, I'm good, dude.
Yeah.
I hate those ads. I love.
Honestly, if they pitched it for me, and this is, I doubt they'll ever pitch it this way for me, but if they knew me well enough, like if they said, hey, you know what, like, I know you've been wanting to use lighting. I have lighting equipment. Like, you can try it on this shoot to see if you like shooting lighting. Like, that's like, I would shoot a gig to learn something like that. Like, oh shit, I've never worked with a gimbal. And this one, he's going to give me a gimbal. Hell yeah, I'll shoot this one. I want to practice with that.
Right.
Like, if they can think like that, and I doubt which people would ever do that because they don't know our world, like the challenges, the growth, I would work for that, like straight up, versus the exposure. Like, dude, in this one, you're going to learn to work with a grip and a DP. Do you want to try this project out? I've never done that.
Yeah.
Sure. Shit. Give me like some food. I'll try it. I've never done that. And if I fuck up, you didn't pay me.
Right.
I like that pressure.
And don't credit me either.
Yeah. Don't credit me. Like, you keep your credit. That's crazy. Okay. So I think we got all three of the worst of the photography as a hobby. Now we're going to talk about the best for business, right? All right. Who wants to kick this motherfucker off? Val is like kind of the business one with her empire. I'm pretty sure you got a good one. You got a good one on you? The best thing?
I think the best for business is I don't pay for any type of advertising. And all I do is make money. And then everywhere I shoot, I just write it off. So I like insanely poor with my taxes because everything I do in my life is and can be photography related, but it's already my passion. So my hobby is my passion and my passion is my career. And so it's just like anything I want, I can actually use. And it's a weird circle of me spending money.
Yeah.
So it's great. The only downside is if you want to buy a house and someone's like, how much money do you make this year?
Dude.
So
I make $10,000 a year.
Right? Yeah, you deduct like at least like $25,000 to $40,000 in business expenses of any kind.
Oh,
and
man.
bam, you're down to making sense.
Damn. Preach, sister. I was gonna say like that exact same shit. I was gonna everything you said word for word is what was gonna come out of my mouth. Where I was like, dude, you get to write off everything. Like being poor because you get to write stuff off. Like that is the biggest like advantage of hobby versus business. Like when you buy it out of hobby, that comes out of your paycheck. But when you call this your business, you don't owe that money to Uncle Sam, and that is beautiful as shit. Like, to me, I'd rather pay myself than pay the government taxes. Like, I'd rather just get taxed on 10K versus 50K or 80K. Like, I at least got like 8 cameras and 3 lenses. For sure. That's dope. Like, to me, that is beautiful. So that's night and day. Like, right there, if you could do that, that's huge. To me, that's huge. And not only that, I'll take it one step further. It's kind of the legacy you're building for yourself. Like that challenge that you could survive in business. If you can make it over 3 years, fucking congratulations. Like most people can't make it past 3. They quit on 1 or 2. So if you can make it past 3, that's dope. I commend you if you're going 5 years strong. And if you're a decade, you're a soldier, dude. Straight up. So those are my 2 things, yo. What do you got, Rene? Close this out strong, bro.
I mean, Jesus, what can I say that you guys haven't already said? The best thing is the best thing. I'll have a little.
That's the thumbnail. Just.
Well, Rene.
All that onto it.
Fucking dubs.
It was the best. Was actually learning all that stuff. For me, learning the whole process of writing everything off and discovering how much shit we could actually put under, like for props or like traveling or like meetings or whatever. Yeah. I mean, shit, that was amazing. So it's hard to like have a better answer than that.
Yeah.
Because I guess I could add on to like you have your own schedule, but that comes with it. I think that comes with the territory.
Yeah, the entrepreneur life.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, it goes up and down, but it is
Yeah.
what it is. You know, that's I think that's why we do it too. I don't like people telling me what to do. It's fucking.
Nah, that's a thing. That's a thing, dude. Like,
Literally, the best thing for me is like the taxes. I don't like people telling me what to do.
yeah.
I can work on different types of stuff. Over the years, we've learned different types of photography, videography, and we can definitely shoot different projects. Like,
Hell yeah.
whether it's food or weddings or events or fucking commercials or headshots or whatever the fuck. I think we're always learning and growing, which is amazing to me.
Yes.
And that's kind of something that you kind of said by accident right there. You named a lot of those things. That's the other bonus thing, bitches. Bonus thing, bitches, is fucking there is no ceiling to how much money you could make. Like if you want to go make $100 tomorrow, you fucking can. If you want to make 100K this year, you can, but you got to do work, bitch. You got to do work. Like that's the cool thing. You got to put in that work. But that's the cool thing. Like when you mentioned all those things, like you could start a headshot company. You could start a food shooting company. You could start a freaking wedding company and just make a shit ton of money. So that's cool about photo and video. When it's your business, there's no ceiling. You can really bust your ass off and make a shit ton of money. But
how much work you put in.
That's some real shit. Like we're all tired because we're working. We're our own business people, and that shit is tiring. But I would have it no other way. Like shit. Yeah, dude. Imagine working like at fucking as a barista or something. Like, nah. Like, fuck that,
I can't do that, bro.
Nope. Or
Not
just
with
like
how much money I
imagine.
spend.
Just,
No.
ugh, just thinking about that stuff. Like, I can't. Like now that I've done this, I can't unsee this. So could never work for anyone, man.
That's the tough part about it. So I guess that would end if we already talked about the worst. But
Did we talk about the worst?
For
like for a business perspective, I don't think we talked about the worst.
Oh, I don't think we did.
No, this
We
could
did
be.
not.
But should we, guys? Because that we went from like preachy good shit. Should we, or should we save that for another episode?
No,
I like
think
that.
the
I
worst
know,
is
yo.
pretty easy.
Huh?
Expenses. That's the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Expenses, because like there's things that you just have to buy to like, in order to protect yourself, and then there are clients that are terrible, and the money's right, and you're like, I'm gonna get through this.
Oh man! All right, we're gonna end it on a low note. I'm down with that. We'll go dark.
No, I won't finish
check
it
this
off,
out. Check
but
this
I want
out.
to know this.
This is one.
I want to know.
Yeah, photography as a hobby.
You do need to know this. You do need to know this. But this one is some real shit. Fucking lawsuits, yo. I've seen it happen to some people, like where they get fucking straight up lawsuited, like because of like say something happens when you fall on a wedding, or they think you stole something. Like I've seen stories like that where they try to pin it on the photographer, where they're like, you were in the house last, you probably stole that watch. Like it's crazy. So they try to do a lawsuit. So that's the other thing, is you need to protect yourself, people. Like get fucking insurance, because dude, like that shit is no joke. Like when you're starting to get 5K jobs, 4K jobs, imagine you do a corporate shoot and you fuck up something, like they could technically sue you. Like they really can. Like you could say, you fucked up our shoot, you cost us this money, and now we got to do da 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 da. So like protect yourself. Imagine if you're shooting real estate and you got like a $3 million house and you drop a vase, protect yourself. Like that's a bad thing, dude. It's scary when you're dealing with money. You got to protect yourself. So that's my bad thing. So I like expenses and then lawsuit protections, stuff like that. What would you add to that, Rene? It's crazy.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I'm like the Wild Wild West, bro. No insurance.
He's so, pew, pew. Let's go, motherfucker. I see that.
All the bases.
I'll juggle that shit.
I didn't know insurance. What are you talking about?
Oh my god,
that's hilarious. Dude.
But there's some venues that like you can't even go on the premises without it.
Correct. $1 million policy, right? You need $1 million policy.
I get it for that. Then I'm back off. Then I'm back off the horse.
He like this cowboy. I'm fucking back off the horse. Clint Eastwood, dude. That's what's up. But what would you say is the worst thing, like for you in the biz? What about like, because I know you talked about it in a couple episodes, but like working with people who just suck, like you know, that aren't good with their time and don't respect you, like is that a bad thing for you? Like what do you got?
I hate that shit. So, and it's some, you know, depending on how you're doing, sometimes you have to take some clients on and they end up sucking. But It is what it is, man. It's just part of it, I think. I try not to take people I wouldn't want to work with, but
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes maybe you have to. I don't know.
Hmm.
Or just
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you do, man. Sometimes you do. It's part of the learning territory, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the learning territory.
So you're learning on a positive note while you're also learning on that negative.
Oh
which
yeah.
balances you in the
Oh, yeah.
business world.
for sure.
And low key, not to sound all cheesy, but your losses could be dubs, man. Like they really can. When you get like that wedding that you said you were shitting bullets, like that's a win, dude. In my book, like you got
Yeah.
it out your system. Like fuck
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
let's charge on the next one like 800, so that book isn't free. Like you
Well,
learn. So
that's how you learn. You know, I'm like,
You
fuck,
don't give him a book.
I'll never do that again.
don't give him a fucking book.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I mean. Like, so you'll be like, I'll never do that again.
exactly.
You know, like you'll learn. Oh, maybe I should come half an hour early or whatever. You know, like
Exactly.
get extra batteries because I fucking didn't have enough the first time I did one of these.
Yo.
You know, shit like that.
Yep. It's when you make that same mistake is when you're fucking losing. So that's what is that called? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Like that's fucking insanity. So if you keep forgetting your batteries and you keep forgetting your batteries and you're not changing, that's when you should probably quit photography.
That's
like straight up.
You're not going to be a photographer then.
Exactly. You always got to grow, man. Imagine if babies just stayed fucking babies. Like that'd be weird.
I mean,
They grow, they evolve, they become adults. It's crazy. We evolve, and if you don't, you literally die.
Yeah,
it's creepy. That's creepy. Well, shit. All right. Anybody got a fun fact? Anyone want to close us out? Anybody got any cool fun facts?
I'm trying to think of a fun fact, but nothing onto my head right now. What do you got there?
Shit. Let's see. Did you know that the octopuses are the hose of the sea?
No, I did not. How are they the hoe of the sea?
Look that up because they can have sex with male and female. They do both. So octopus are crazy like that, dude. They're the hose of the sea.
orgy.
Octopus orgy.
Is that why they have
another domain?
Tentacles?
That's another domain.
That's what they call octopuses.
That's another domain right there. Octopusorgies.com. Oh man, what was the other one? Pineapple what?
Boners.
Pineapple boners and octopus. Man, we gotta make funny domains after each podcast.
Oh my god. Do I have to buy each of them?
No. Some of our fans that will eventually get will, and they'll make some cool shit out of it. Eventually.
I'll just make an Instagram. Just make an Instagram.
Make an Instagram. Octopus.
If anybody follows it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Now, V-Dub, do you have a fun fact? Because I still don't have any.
Yeah, if you guys don't, we could end it with
I'm just curious.
Ballast Point finally released 2 new core beers, and they haven't done so in like last decade.
Really?
So, and
when?
I think I think they bought back the company that was originally sold for like $1 billion to Constellation, and they own like a bunch of breweries, like one in Seattle and whatever, maybe Anheuser-Busch is a part of it.
They bought that shit back?
They bought it back, and now they have 2 new, I feel like I'm sponsored. They have 2 new beers.
Dang, dude. Big Gus and Wee Gus.
and look at this. It's so messed up.
That is sick, dude. That is sick. That is
so Wee Gus is alive, and then Big Gus, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's a fun fact right there.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
So V-Dubs, let me ask you this real quick. So I'm assuming since you have those beers there, you're still enjoying your beverages?
Yeah,
You ain't quitting.
I couldn't.
No
that's my one vice.
What, beers or just?
Yeah, the alcohol. Alcohol is my vice.
Me too.
So I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't smoke weed. I don't really like it. Like, I'm not opposed to it. I don't smoke cigarettes. I have asthma. Don't care for it.
Dude, mine used to be video games for sure, dude. That was my big
that's
vice.
not a vice?
Yeah, it was, dude. I was not working for shit.
So
it was
distracted.
It's a distractor for sure. Especially good games, man. They're like movies, dude.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla in like a week.
Damn. I like the
played
best.
145 hours.
Okay. See, that's what I don't like looking at. It's so bad looking at your hours. Oh, yeah. I don't want to look at my Destiny, my Destiny 2. That's what I used to play a lot. I'm pretty sure I'm over like 400 hours.
Oh my God.
It's bad. It is.
You're bad. Like, and imagine if you were like,
dude, right? Building a business.
That movie.
Just imagine if you got paid $100 every hour, right?
Yeah.
What the? That's 40K. That's 40K right there. So yeah, that's why I hung up. That's another fun fact. Do you guys see it? I don't know if you see that little thing right here, but I hang the control.
Oh.
I put up the sticks. I'm like, that's it, dog. So that was the last control I touched right there. But RIP. But I said this. I will come back when I got my shit together though. Like once I have people under me, and it's kind of like more like what you talked about, Val, like having people kind of under you. Yeah, when it could run itself and you truly are a business person, because let's be real, we're figuring it out as we go. Mm-hmm. Then maybe I'll be able to like, hey, on Fridays it's game night with the fellas or the ladies or the whatevers, octopus shit. We'll have some fun with it. It'll be cool.
For sure. I don't oppose to it. I just I'll like set aside some time. Sometimes I'll just de-stress with the.
It's so good for de-stressing, man. Like that shit lets you escape. It's fucking fun, dude. I would do it. It's just it was my vice, and I know me. I'd go from 1 hour to like 5 hours. So I have no. Yeah. I can't stop.
You're on it forever.
I want to go like if I was playing Assassin's Creed because I played the pirate one. I wanted to keep playing. I was like, oh, let's just do one more lap, one more mission, one more minute. Felt like a crackhead, dude. It was crazy.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
I'm like 30 minutes an hour. I'm good.
That's cool. If you have discipline, video games are awesome, man. Video games are awesome. One of the best de-stressors.
De-stress. It just sucks. Like I have all my work equipment next to like my video games. I have done the like, oh shit, like I should probably start working. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious. Well, shit. Maybe we talk about video games on another episode, man. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh shit.
That'd be fun. I'll be curious, man. I know we're all gamers here, so.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next time for sure.
For sure.
All right. With that, I think we're out. We'll catch you guys next time.
We went from preach to bleach. Heck yeah.